which is A Quiet
Yes.
Place.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I knew it got compared to A Quiet Place a lot, and both of those were on my list, but I was like, oh, Bird Box is more recent. My brother and sister had watched it, so it gives me something to talk about with them. So I watched that first, and then was like, I should probably watch A Quiet Place, which is a much better movie.
Yes. Well,
I love both, but A Quiet Place is mind-blowing. I've never seen a film use sound the way they use sound. I think I said to you, Liam, or did I say it to you? Or I might have said it to a guy at work, that I've never been as tense at such a normal sound as a scene where someone knocks over a gas lamp. Like, my whole body in that film went rigid, and I was like, oh fuck, no, what? No, stop. And I was like, what is happening? This is just noise.
Well,
It's...
you didn't see it in the theater, but like people were like afraid to eat their food in the
Yeah.
movie
yeah, we
theater.
deliberately
I heard
didn't get
people
any
talking about
food when
that.
we saw it at the cinema. So we were like, yeah, this is not a film to eat food to.
Imagine if you were one of the people that did buy food, and were nice about it. Because I'm one of the people that buys food and then like waits for a noisy bit. So you'd be sitting in that film like, and
Any minute now.
so
My sister Addie had a really bad cough when we went to see it.
Oh no.
oh no.
And so, like, it would be a really tense spot, and then she'd be like, "Ugh," like, it was just, and she sounded like a goose, and then she would just be like, I'm so sorry. Like, and everybody
nice.
would, like,
I love-
jump because it was so quiet, and
Yeah.
then she'd cough.
Yeah. I love the opening to that film because it's just so brutal, and immediately it's just like, oh, they're not fucking around.
No.
It tells you all the rules that you need to know about that universe.
Yeah.
Also shows you how mean the film's going to be. There's just, the film is full of so many, like, I think this is because I've seen people talking about this film who said it's scary, and I didn't get that.
It's not scary,
So I'm
it's
start-
tense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think people get confused.
which I used to not be able to deal with as a kid, but I think I can now deal with tense films. So that's
Well
good.
done.
I've grown. But there are so many scenes in this that are like just that awful kind of tense where you're like, something bad might happen here and I really don't want it to because this family just seem very lovely. Like,
Yeah.
they're all so nice in it. And like, there's stuff going on between them where you're like, in any other film, this could just be, oh, the dad's a dickhead. But it isn't.
Yeah.
It's like, no, the dad's trying to deal with something and like someone else is misunderstanding that, and that's why there's tension there, but it's not no one being deliberate.
Yeah.
There's a scene in this film where I just openly wept like a child, which I think is I think it's pretty obvious what that scene would be. But Jesus Christ, I just burst into tears. Anyway, yeah, back to the podcast. I just get so fucking emotional at any sort of family shit, any sort of love shit. As soon as that happens in a film, my brain's just like, cry now. Now's the time to cry.
I have to say how good the girl is in the film.
Yeah.
She is
She's
brilliant.
amazing, yeah.
Millicent
All the
Simmons.
actors in it are
Yeah,
amazing.
that's
Like the boy that plays the son is good. Like,
Noah Jew.
I wasn't cool.
And the girl is Millicent Simmons.
Yeah, they were good.
Good. They're both amazing.
And I think she's actually deaf in real
Yeah,
life
she
as
is.
well.
She is.
The only bit I didn't super love the ending and the resolution to the film.
No.
I thought it was a bit.
Yeah, that's the only
I think
bit
they
that
could have
I
done
would
it
complain about.
a different way to make it slightly better. But then also, I don't think that's the important part of the story. I think, again, this is a story about family. And like, I saw an interview with John Krasinski, who directed and starred in the film. That's right. Ellie also knows an actor.
Well done.
Yay!
Thank you.
Hey.
Where he was like, the whole point of this is he made it just after him and his wife, who is also in the film,
Emily Blunt.
had their kid. And
Their
he was
second.
like, the whole film is about what would you do for your kids.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, that makes so much fucking
He
sense.
co-wrote it also.
He also designed the monster, which is a weird
I didn't
thing.
know that.
And Amanda,
I was like, oh, okay.
Amanda can help me out here, but I think Emily Blunt won an award recently for her performance.
She
in
did.
the film.
She just won the SAG award for Best Supporting Actress.
Oh, nice.
And that clip of her winning is just so adorable because
is.
he's like in tears over it,
Aww.
and yeah, it's.
I watched it.
If you like this film, watch that clip.
Yeah, it's a great clip. I watched it live, but I had a fever, so everything was a little hazy. But I was just like, they're so sweet, and I love them both.
Yeah,
My favourite thing that I've seen since watching it was, I think it was on like Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy can't remember which one it was, one of the Jimmys, and John Krasinski was saying, because they were asking him like, oh, what was it like working with your, like, directing your wife? Is that like a problem? And he was like, no, it's a mate. Like, I now understand why she's such an amazing actress, and like she just blew my mind. But he was telling this story about how in one of the scenes, which is the bathtub scene.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Great scene.
They said that all happened in one shot. She did it on the first take, did this whole amazing scene, and then the crew were apparently just like, holy shit, this is incredible. And then the moment he said cut, she just turned around and went, oh, so what's for lunch? And everyone else was just like, what? What? That was it. So I was like, that's such a good story of her being like, blowing everyone's mind with how good she is at acting, and then just being like, what have we got? What are we going to eat now?
I'm hungry.
Yeah, exactly,
All
yeah.
this acting
I was like,
has
that's
made
such a
me
good story.
hungry.
But yeah, I'd give that like a 4.5 out of 5. Literally just the 0.5 off because
Of the end.
the ending
yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
But
They're doing a sequel.
I'm glad. How will that work though?
Emily Blunt.
I hope they call it a
knows
loud
everything.
place. If you go quiet, the monsters hunt you down. But if you're constantly talking, they're like, ah.